Good afternoon. This is Rusty Alpin here with the Casara Credit Group. I want to welcome you to our first in a series of credit coaching videos. Here we're going to be using 4 examples in our credit card coaching series today. In each one of these examples, it's going to be implied that you always are making your credit card payments on time. In this first example here, you have got a $1,000 credit card limit. Now you have used $600 of that limit with a available balance of $400. Now, is that helping or hurting your credit score? You've got another $1,000 credit card limit. You have utilized $250 of that, $750 available. Now, you've made your payments on time. But that's not the only thing that they use in determining if it's helping or hurting your score. But again, what do you think? Is it helping or is it hurting your credit score? In the third example, you've got a $5,000 credit card limit. Now you have only used $100 of that credit card, which gives you a $4,900 available balance left. Again, you made your credit card payments on time. But what do you think? Is it helping or is it hurting your score? In the final example, by making your credit card payments on time, is it going to always help your score, or what kind of an effect does it have? What do you think? Is it going to always help, or does it maybe sometimes hurt? Exact answers.
Go ahead.
Here, in the first example, you've got a $1,000 credit card limit with a $600 amount of charges with a $400 amount available balance. You've made your payments on time, but it's hurting your score. Here, again, another $1,000 credit card limit with a $250 available balance or charges, $750 available. Made your payments on time. It's actually helping your score right now. Here you got a $5,000 credit card limit. Now you've only charged $100 of that limit, which gives you a $4,900 available balance. It's actually helping your score. Here, yes, there is a way that it can actually hurt your score by making your payments on time. Now the reason for all of this is based on the fact that it's called a 25% credit utilization ratio. What it simply means is this, is the credit reporting agencies have determined that through a series of studies that the more you go over 25% of your credit card limit, you're more likely to actually default on that card. Since you've charged 60% of that, even though you've made your payments on time, it's hurting your score. You charge 25% here, so right now it actually helps your score, even though optimally you really don't want to go over 10%. But see, this is actually fixing to actually hurt your score shortly, because it's going to change from a 25% ratio down to a 20% ratio. Here, you're well below that ratio there. Technically it's helping your score, but actually there is a way that it actually can come back and hurt your score. Here, yes, the fact that you've gone over the 25% ratio and you've always made your payments on time, yes, it can still hurt your score. So actually this one and this one kind of go parallel with each other. Now, but let's see how it's going to actually show up on your report. The way that they're going to actually score you is actually by adding up your credit card limits. Here you've got a $5,000 credit card limit, which totals up to $7,000. In addition to that, they're going to add up all of your charges. You got $600, $850, and another $100, which gives you $950 worth of charges on a $7,000 credit card limit. Well, that gives you a 14% credit utilization ratio. Now, they're going to score you individually. So right individually, that card's actually hurting you. But collectively, you're at 14%. So you're okay. But you heard me say just a minute ago how this last card right here could actually come back and hurt you. And the reason being is that a lot of banks, you have to figure in how they make money. Besides trying to fee you to death, they're going to also charge, they make their money by actually making interest on the money they lend you. Since you're only using $100 of that, they're not making a lot of money on the interest. So what are you going to do? I've seen many cases where what they will do is they will drop that $5,000 to something that's going to be relative to what you're spending. So let's just say they drop it from $5,000 to $500, which would be more in line to what you've been using. So now instead of having $7,000 in credit card limit, you got it down to $2,500. But you still have that $950 in charges. But instead of 14%, you're at 38%. Individually, that card's hurting you, and now collectively, you're being hurt as well. What we're going to do in our next coaching video is show you how we're going to violate this actually. But by doing that, build your credit score. Thank you for listening to this series in your credit coaching videos.